What is up, everybody? I'm your host, Nick Anderson, owner of Amongst the Whiskey, and today we will be getting into a quick head-to-head of 2 different years of the Van Winkle Family Reserve Rye. This is a 13-year rye distilled at Buffalo Trace. It is part of the Pappy craze, the ones that only come out once a year in the wintertime, and all of the whiskey enthusiasts clamor to try to get a bottle of their own. Thanks to my good friend Jason, also known as Bourbon and Smoke on Instagram, I'm going to get to compare the 2023 release, which I've already written a full review of. You can find that link down in the description to my website. And I will be comparing 2023 to 2022's release. Jason mentioned being surprised that I didn't much care for the 2023 release. I ended up rating this one a 3 out of 5 on my website. The notes are really interesting, so make sure you check out that write-up. I called this kind of thin, gossamer, almost blended to oblivion. He mentioned that was surprising to him, so he sent me along a sample of the 2022 release to compare. I also sent him a taste of the 2023. We'll see what he says as well. But without further ado, let's get into a tasting of the Van Winkle 13-year rye. Let's go. Okay, for tracking purposes, the Antler Wee Glen is the 2023, and the Fish Wee Glen here is the 2022. If you don't know about these little icons, these are a limited run of Wee Glens that we etched and sent out through the Spirit Animal Society. I'll drop a link to that in the description as well if you're interested in checking out a dandy of a whiskey community. Okay, on to the tasting we go. I said this was going to be quick. Okay, yep, a lot of citrus tones, a little bit of dusty oak here. Obviously, at 13 years, we're going to find some of that. The 2023 is coming across pretty level, pretty bland, kind of how I remember it. Onto the nose of 2022. Oh, a little bit more complexity going on here. Yeah, there's a little more like nutmeg, clove. This is a much more exciting rye here. Okay, Jason was on to something here. 2022, right off the bat, is way more exciting than the 2023 is on the nose. It's got a little bit of a grapefruit character. It's very juicy. It's a lot more exciting, nuanced. And jumping back to 2023. Oh, yeah, that really makes this stand out as being almost a little synthetic. Kind of has a Airheads kind of synthetic modern candy thing going on. Kind of plasticky. Yeah, okay, no competition on the nose. 2022 is the much better release. On to the palate. I will sip 2023 first. Yeah, just fine. Drinks like a barely legal rye. A lot of caramel. Really, I'm just getting a lot of barrel influence, as one would expect out of a 13-year whiskey. Tiny bit of maybe like a apple pie filling. Another sip for posterity. Yeah, that Airheads kind of thing. It's a little bit of a raspberry tone. Tiny bit of like an Earl Grey tea. But everything is just so tamped down, soft, muted. I think just as boring as the last time I reviewed it. So be it. Okay, and time for a sip on 2022. Yeah, that's nice. I wouldn't say it's a whole heck of a lot better than the 2023, but it is better. Yeah, I get much more tingly creaminess. There's a little effervescent kind of lemon frosting thing happening in my mouth. I gotta say, I definitely like that better. Another sip for notes. Oh yeah. There's like a creamy flan thing going on here. Fresh blueberries, a little raspberry tart. That's classy. That's really classy. I could see being excited about the 2022 release because, one, it's a rare bottle. You want to share it with your friends. Make sure that everybody knows, look at me, I got a bottle of Pappy. But it's actually worth sharing. I would use this in a tasting that illustrates barely legal rye. I think this is a great example of a barely legal rye where you have 51 or 52% of rye in the mash bill and it doesn't really lean in too much on that flavor profile. It leans heavily on the barrel influence, your more traditional kind of candied sweet Buffalo Trace tones are really dominant here. But I gotta say, the 2022 has me coming back for more. Yeah, that's solid. I honestly could see this being bottled in a Buffalo Trace bottle, though, right? It's not this like pinnacle whiskey that deserves to be as sought after as it is. Okay, 2022, you were great to me. Thanks again, Jason. Cheers. Okay, final chance on the 2023. Returning to the nose, I get a little bit of bubblegum going on here. Again, very subtle. It's kind of stale bubblegum. Like the wrapper's been open for a little while. Bottom of the Halloween candy pail. Okay, yeah, once again leans way more in on just kind of traditional, almost bourbony tones. A little bit of cherry, caramel, vanilla. Boring stuff. You've heard those notes before. And I only use them because this is a boring whiskey. And I really want to illustrate that fact. So I'm going to hit you with the oak, cherry, caramel, vanilla for eternity on the 2023 Van Winkle 13-year rye. You see one of these on the shelf, you leave it, even at MSRP. That is going to do it for today's video, my friends. Until next time, keep it amongst the whiskey.